Good morning. Happy Friday. Pretty excited. Not that weekends matter in retail, but Friday's always kind of a special day. Today's even better. I got free coffee this morning. I cruised into work late like I own the place. Okay, I do. Hi everyone, I'm Ann Dale. We're here at my sewing room in currently sunny Calgary, Alberta. Today's topic, sewing and giving, or giving in sewing. That's what I want to talk about today. Over the years, some of you might know that we have done a lot of work in our local community and actually supported lots of giving in developing countries. And me personally, I've gone off to Nepal, Uganda, Rwanda, Dominican Republic, to work with and support women, supporting other women in those countries. And we do a lot from here for other countries as well. And, wherever we've been needed. And over the years, Holy Hannah, we have done so many great things with so much help from amazing women. We've been able to support Albertans through the fires, through the floods, through our Quilts from the Heart group, which is still going. We have supported a lot of children's charities where gifting and giving of quilts has been a primary focus. For years and years, we had a lovely lady that we worked with who supported Victoria's Quilts and other charities like that. We've sent fabric away to Linus Quilts, which for children. So many different things. It's hard to remember them all. The deal is to say yes if you can. You still have to protect yourself. It's kind of being bandied about right now that put your own mask on first. And those who fly, that they tell you to put your own oxygen mask on if it drops down before you help anyone else. Because if your life's not viable, you're not able to help someone else with their life. So there's a little bit of a personal journey, because I just lost a week of my life to being quite ill. So some of you who know my voice fairly well know that it's not quite right today. But I got ill, deathly ill, and I was down for the count. I couldn't read, I couldn't watch TV, I couldn't even scroll on my phone. And it wasn't a day or two, it was an entire week that I was down for the count. I was away from work for 10 days before I came back, and I sound way worse than I am feeling right now. But I think it'll take a while for complete recovery of my voice and those things. But in that, I lost all that time. It's annoying. Hi, Dana Lee. Oh, you're in Regina. Good job. Hey, Ruth. Yeah, I am feeling quite better. Hi, Tina. I always say this to poor Tina. That's my sister's name, who I saw for Thanksgiving for the first time in a while. So that was lovely to have family for Thanksgiving. Oh, thanks, Dan. I forgot about that. But yeah, Dana Lee just reminded me that when she was doing a quilt for the Humboldt crew, we helped her with that as well. So we're still up to our shenanigans as far as sewing and giving goes. We can't help everyone. It's impossible. And financially damaging to a business as well. So we pick and choose. We have a plan that in our sort of go forward of what that stuff looks like. And, certain things appeal to my heart a little more. Always children. Children are not guilty of the idiocy of adults. Doesn't matter what country, what culture, what religion. Children are innocent of their parents' behavior, of their politicians' behavior, of their government's behaviors. And, for those of us that are lucky, we should be helping them. Sorry, I have to sneeze. So I want to share a new project with you. Excuse me. Still sneezing. I met this lovely couple named Jason and Cinnamon. Love her name. I'll let you in on a kind of an inside joke. I have a girlfriend. Her name is, she likes to be called PJ. And PJ stands for Princess Janet. And I was like, oh, I knew her name was Janet, but people were calling her PJ. And I was like, why are they calling you PJ? And she explained to me that it was short for Princess Janet. And I'm like, I want a cool nickname. She's like, well, let's give you a cool nickname. And she said, what do you want to be called? Well, I grew up, in the era of certain music, certainly what my mom was listening to as a kid. And there was a song about a girl called Cinnamon, and I wanted a name like Cinnamon. So Miss PJ always calls me Cinnamon. She doesn't call me Anne, and every time she does, it just makes me giggle and smile. It's hilarious. I love it. But I met someone who's actually named Cinnamon. She's a lovely young lady, and her husband, Sweet. They are doing good work, and they're working in Zambia, and they have a project that us here at home can participate in a very simple way. And as many of you know, I've been quite involved with Days for Girls, and I still am. And but I'm working a lot more through Rotary and funding and financing great projects to educate young women and young men in other countries, even here at home, in menstrual health and care. So I know that in my heart, education is the answer to everything. If you can educate your population, they can prepare, they can solve their own inner issues. They don't need outside people and influences telling them what to do. That's a big mistake that is made in the charitable sector all the time. But the good news is the groups that I work with and belong to and support have figured out that you ask the people what they need and then help them find it, build it, buy it, whatever that takes, and you work in partnership. This isn't a savior thing where you dive in and save the people. It's a really inappropriate behavior, and giving makes you feel good. And so, I'm going to have my little coffee with you today. We're going to talk about giving. Oh, Joanne Turnbull. Good morning, Joanne. Hopefully you're here for a coffee. If you don't have a coffee, get a coffee. Get a cup of tea. Get a little snack. Let's talk about giving. So, during COVID, we used to have sew-ins all the time here. And then, of course, we couldn't meet. And how did we carry on doing good work when we couldn't get together, couldn't do those things. So working from home was the thing for some of you. Some of you kept going. Some of you got busy and were kind to your own selves and dug down into your unfinished projects and treated yourself to some creativity, which hopefully lifted you up out of the sadness that came from being home alone and not being able to see family and friends, and to maybe go out and join a group doing charitable sewing. So Quilts from the Heart was here yesterday. The date for Quilts from the Heart's in our calendar. I believe it's the second or third Wednesday. Chels! No, she's not here. Let me have a quick look. Let's take a look in the calendar. I can count it out because they meet the same time every month. And that's really good. Yeah, third Wednesday of the month. They'll be meeting here. They don't meet in the summer typically. Not that the girls aren't, and gentlemen, the women and gentlemen are sewing, quilting, piecing, binding, all the things that are required to get quilts. We're giving them to Luna Center, which is formerly known as Sheldon Kennedy Center. So Quilts from the Heart used to pick a different charity every year, and then we kind of got stuck there. And it's a great place to be stuck. It's terrible that there is a need, obviously. Children shouldn't suffer at the hands of adults. However, what is glorious about this is through the Sheldon Kennedy Center, now Luna Center, is a lot of things have been figured out. And the children that need that support and those services, they have it sorted out. They have it going on. The children are kindly, efficiently, and caringly helped. So if you would like more information, head off to the Luna Center and have a look. And if you'd like to support Luna Center quilting with us through Quilts from the Heart, they meet the third Wednesday of the month. You're welcome to drop in, meet Nancy. She's been the head of it forever. And we'll tell you what we do and what it's all about. And we'll look at the skills you have and the skills you want to share and what you want to share. If you just want to purge your craft supplies, they are always looking for 100% quilt cottons to add to their stash. And all donations gratefully accepted, especially larger pieces for the backs of the quilts. And Dream Cotton, through my Canadian distributor, has been very kind to us. They quite often provide us entire rolls of batting at no charge to support Quilts from the Heart, and we thank them heartily. So if quilting is your jam, join us for that. Come see what we've got going on. Come meet the ladies. And sometimes they're sitting and sewing here. Sometimes they don't. It really depends on what's happening in their lives. And of course, over the years, the group has morphed and changed. People are no longer sewing in assisted living. Unfortunately, some of our movers and shakers in that group have passed away, and that was a huge blow to the group. But we're open to new members, so if quilting's your jam, that might make you happy. If you just like to sew in general and maybe like to try something different, Sew Powerful is a little bit different. I have a copy of Jason and Cinnamon's book, We Are So Powerful. There's stories in here about them and about the project and how they got started and what they're doing and the people they work with and the people who have found them and wanted to support them. Somewhere down the road, maybe I'll be in book 2, because this is one of the ones that I want to get going on. Now, which camera? Let's try the close-up. I'm not sure where yeah, that'll do it. Okay, so there is a website, sopowerful.org. Let's go there. There we go. So you don't have this odd voice floating in from nowhere. I've borrowed some pieces that have come in because we've become a drop point. Some of you may have seen the poster in the door, big QR code on it where you could just go to the links and find So Powerful for yourself. The difference with So Powerful is we're allowed to use quilt cottons as linings, but they prefer heavier fabric for the outsides, if you have that. And somewhat different from some of the other sew charities that I've worked with is we're allowed to decorate. So we've got some beautiful upholstery materials here. And this lovely volunteer, she has used her embroidery machine. So it's been hard to find a charity where us dedicated embroiderers can play along. So there are some, you can use any of your designs that you already own that are built into your machine, and you can make flaps. And the nice thing is, what I'd like to get going on is if you're not necessarily a bag maker, you don't really want to dive in to producing a whole bag, and they're not difficult, and I'll help for those of you who might like to try it. I have a solution later. But if you have an embroidery machine, there's a couple designs where we can make the entire flap embroidered, quilted, and stitched completely in the hoop, and then we just turn it and then we sew it into the bag. So I borrowed these from one of our people who brought them in, and I love what she's done. They're joyful, they're creative, and so happy. Now let's go back here. So there's some straps. They're fully lined. There's a few pockets in here. There's some skills that if you don't have them can be learned. And then it's just a flat bag. And so their vision of the project here is in Zambia, the women in Zambia have work creating menstrual care supplies, and that provides income and purpose on the ground, which is fabulous. But they've invited anyone who might like to participate by making a bag. You can make a bag and send that. So we're a collection point. That's how the store has stepped in. Now I've got this bag here. I want to share that one. Hey Chelsea, will you grab the poster out of the back? Look at this one. Sewed a silk daisy on there, put a cute center. It's adorable. Like, how much fun is this bag, right? So these are all things that I consider freedoms. Ah, thank you. I'm going to do a front on, and we'll just give everyone a flash. So you probably won't be able to pick up that QR code on the screen now, but we're going to have this hanging in the store, and you can scan that QR code or just Google search is So Powerful. But this is theirs. Chelsea, did you catch that I put a date in the calendar this morning?
No.
December 3rd
December 3rd.
is Giving Tuesday, and we're gonna
Cute.
all day December 3rd in store here. We're gonna give to So Powerful.
That's fantastic.
We'll be accepting deliveries.
Yep.
We will be stitching, learning, embroidering, and there's going to be more dates. But I thought we should reserve Giving Tuesday.
I think so too. I'll get it in Dragonfly.
We'll get that in there. So if you want to just register, let us know that you're coming. It'll let us know how many, cookies to bring. Because, you got to give back. Sewing together is more fun with cookies, don't you think?
I think so too.
So, isn't that sweet? She's got that beautiful bag there. Just walking people through what So Powerful looks like. Thank you. We've got the background filled. There's not enough room for Chelsea and I in the display. Chelsea's got the room all flipped for our. Oh, good morning, Lana. Our brother event tomorrow. We're launching the 3 new brother products. Print Moda, which is a beautiful fabric printer. You can do 12-foot fabric banners on it, or maybe we could print some bag flaps. Wouldn't that be cool? And the sublimation printer will be here for Saturday, and the brand new Brother Avenir. So there's still time to register and get yourself in here for that. We have some grand information to share with you. We have some unique bundles and prices just for the event. And those will expire shortly thereafter. So if you have even a teeny itch for something fun and new, come to the event this weekend and see what's happening. Yeah. Sorry, completely distracted for a second. But anyway, Giving Tuesday, December 3rd, we're going to focus. Now, the fabrics behind me, I want to talk about that for a minute. I got a very nice call from a gentleman named Jim Simmering. He has a 4th-generation upholstery, cleaning, and repair company. So Jim Simmering was looking in the warehouse and saying, I have all these beautiful fabrics. I've got to do something with them. And really what they are bolt ends of people's beautiful furniture. They ordered in the fabric. You always have to order in a little extra. But if they don't need that little oops factor, just like our stash, it builds and builds and builds and builds in your sewing room. And then what do you do with it? So Jim called and said, I have these upholstery fabrics and I'm looking for somewhere to donate them. Well, perfect for So Powerful. He called at exactly the right moment because I've been meaning to set this up and get it going. And so Jim and I had a lovely long conversation, and where I thanked him for the donations, and he told me he's got about 40 years of stash building in his warehouse, and he'd like to share what I have on the table here. Hopefully you can see the shimmer. It's a beautiful velveteen, and it's not too terribly heavy. It's quite mushable, so it's quite cuttable, sewable. It would also be beautiful embroidered or decorated with something, as these upholstery fabrics were embroidered. We can use denim. You're welcome to recycle your old jeans into bags. They cut up quite nicely. We're allowed to get creative and artful with the flaps, so that's something. Chelsea has fallen in love with one of the bouclés. Here it is. it's barely on camera, but it's like a ultra wide corduroy, except it's boucle, and it's so gorgeous and soft, and that would embroider. And then there are a few pieces in here that are like this is a clamshell print, and it's a soft pink, and it has a little bit of cream and a little bit of navy in it. You know, you could probably pull a cotton from your stash for that. There are this kind of dove gray velveteen. This one looks like wool and almost feels like wool, but it's so soft. It's gorgeous. And then there's, beautiful fall colors here. So we'll be providing that to our So Powerful people. So if you want to bring your bags in for us to deliver on, that's one of our things. We're a waypoint in the delivery stream. So you can make your bags, drop them here, we'll ship them to So Powerful, who'll get them distributed in Zambia. Oh, beautiful brocade back here. Jim has become part of the process in that he's going to be happily providing us with quality materials, and they're remnants, but they're not scraps. So there's some mighty big pieces here. We can make an entire bag or beautiful flaps. For those of you who love to embroider, people like Lana and I love to embroider, but sometimes there's not been any room for embroiderers in sewing, giving sewing. Hasn't been a place for us. So I'm really excited. And one of So Powerful's volunteers has created free to use embroidery designs on the So Powerful website. And I've been playing with the flap file so that we can get it created completely in the hoop. And I've got some helpful hints for you for that. So we will be offering in the near future So Powerful Embroidery Day to help people who maybe only have a small hoop on their machine but would like to do a little more embroidery. And I always tell people who are learning to embroider and some of the other things we do here in this world of quilting and sewing is there's two kinds of people in this business: those who test and those who wish they had. So we can test out some of our embroidery designs, and if the test turns out, we can turn it into a flap. And for those times when you just can't directly sew to your project without doing a test, we can test, we can make a flap. It's useful. If it doesn't turn out, you're not heartbroken because it was a flap. It wasn't your final project. It's not going to ruin your whole weekend. So we have that going on. Now, if you're a self-starter and you're an experienced sewer and you maybe don't have the time, or sewing in a group with a group is not your jam, then I'll show you what we have from So Powerful. So I have built this binder. Sorry for the glare. Let's see if I can just take some of that glare off. You can go in and you are able to download your own purse patterns. They have beautiful directions, all prepped and ready. They have 2 different bags you can choose from. They talk about making your own handles, and if you're not a handle maker, you are allowed to use webbing, strap webbing. So there's lots of good tips in here, but there is an advanced flap. Let's see if I can get that in there a little better. Yep. So that's cute. And there's another option. So there you can increase your skills. For those of you who are starting out, now here's the flap pattern piece. So height and width on this is 10.25 by 7.5. So for those of you who have larger embroidery machines, we can make that whole flap in there. If you don't have a larger embroidery hoop, maybe you bought one of the little embroidery machines that only has a 4x4 hoop, we can put an embroidery, a 4x4 embroidery on the flap. It would be beautiful. But if that's kind of new to you, happy to get you started and going there. All the pattern pieces are here to cut out. Now, if some of you are listening and maybe sewing a bag is not your thing, one of the other items that's so powerful encourages is you're allowed to put a little love note in the bags. Some of the seamstresses who are making bags already, they have been putting their own little love note inside. Little notes of encouragement. I have a friend. Hi, Betty. Betty always sends me a handmade card for my birthday, and she, I think, is playing more with paper these days than fabric. So if paper's your jam, you can create cards. Nothing too thick, nothing too heavy, nothing too embellished, because we do have to ship them. But it will allow you to use some of your pretty papers and some of your amazing pens and markers and that. So just flipping through all of the instructions and notes here, and the other front flap pocket, like everything that you need to get started is available to you right this minute. So if I've got you all stoked and excited, on your mark, get set, go. Even if you make one bag between now and Giving Tuesday, do it. Make one, drop it off for Sewing Tuesday, or Giving. Well, always could be Sewing Tuesday here, but Giving Tuesday, December 3rd. But you know, who do you want to be in this world? Well, I want to be someone that is known for giving and sharing. I love to share my knowledge and education in sewing with other people, the things that I know, that I've learned, that I've discovered. Love to share that with you in whatever capacity it helps you. And this year, the gift I'm giving myself is, since COVID, we kind of lost some of our giving and sewing, except for Quilts from the Heart. Those ladies were so busy still during COVID. They've given well over 3,000 quilts to Luna Center, and I'm so proud of them. And not all of us want to make big quilts. That's not our jam at the moment, or not our jam right now, or no longer for whatever reason. But a bag, smaller, uses up a nice amount of fabric. The only thing that they ask us is if you want to use your quilting cotton stash on the outside of the bag, you're welcome to do that, but they want you to put a lining onto it, an interfacing, a stabilizer. So I will have some more information on that. We have done a previous YouTube on fusible interfacing, fusible stabilizer. It's important that you follow the instructions for good adhesion, and it's important for most products. Steam's part of the program. And when you have something that's hot and steamy, so if you're going to run to your room and start a bag and use quilt cotton, press interfacing to it. OESD fusible woven, if you have that in your stash, good choice. One of the Pelham products, the code I believe is SF101. That's a fusible woven. Good weight to back your quilt cotton with, because we need these bags to last. The girls are going to put everyday things in them every day, and then they'll put their menstrual care supplies in there every month. So let's do a good job. Let's make them solid, and that's the only ask, that if you use your quilt cotton stash, that you go ahead and back that if you're using it on the outside of the bag. If you're going to use it for lining, you don't need to interface the lining. And then if you want to combine your stash with Jim's stash, come in, register with us, and we'll get you some upholstery fabric to make some bags. We'd be happy to help you out that way. And that's kind of it for today. I was still feeling pretty rough Friday before when we met in my garden. I don't think I'll bring anyone in there anymore because all the leaves have fallen off of almost all the trees. The irrigation system got blown out this morning so that it won't freeze this winter. And the fountains were on the sad day for me. I always hate when I have to drain the fountain and cover it up and put it away for the winter. So there's nothing pretty to see in the garden anymore. But for those of you who joined me in my garden this year, I appreciate it. And I thank you for your kind attention to traveling around the garden with me. And, it's just past Thanksgiving. And I think it's, I hate these people, but I'm going to be one of those people. I just got a note from Miss Betty. The one I was just referring to, I've known her for simply ever. I believe Christmas is in 68 days. Hard to believe. Michael and I have pretty low-key Christmas. I don't need gifts. We don't exchange gifts truly with too many people these days. What we like to exchange is time together. So we plan out a nice meal or a games night. Those are the kind of Christmas gifts that I'm into these days. Same with birthday gifts. For those of you who might have heard or been in the store, there's been a little bit of birthday cake around here this week, and or birthday candy, because I'm still a 6-year-old at heart. Halloween candy still gets me every year, and so when I'm asked what kind of cake I like for my birthday, I'm like, oh really? Halloween candy. Still a 6-year-old. So it is my birthday today, and so my gift to you is give yourself some time. Make sure that you don't overextend yourself and lose a week of your life. Put your own masks on first, and for my birthday I want you to give yourself a gift, whether that's an hour reading a book, hour making a purse. Do something just for you today. I got my free coffee this morning for my birthday. So exciting. And, take a moment, enjoy your life. Not everyone I know got to. So, not to be morbid or maudlin, because I'm not, but there are no promises of tomorrow. So, make the most of today. I hope you enjoy your weekends. Hug your loved ones. And be kind to yourself. And, thank you for the birthday wishes, all of you. But, you know what I'd really, really like from you is tell me what you're going to do for yourself. Because we always do lots for others, and that was sort of the focus of my talk to you today. But what are you going to do for you? We think of that as being selfish. It's not selfish, it's important. You have to give to yourself so that you can give to others. My gift to you today.